Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Navya Sharma, and today in this video, I am here to talk about a very popular topic known as DevOps. So I'll be talking about DevOps and try to make you guys understand it in a very easy language. So just an information that this video is going to be a part of my Tech Talks playlist. So if you don't know about my Tech Talks playlist, in that playlist, I create videos where I talk about some of the very important topics or buzzwords that you guys must have heard or came across. So these topics belong to the software development or computer science or IT background. So I'll be making videos. More videos will be coming soon. So just you can go and check out the playlist, the videos that are there right now. So coming back to this video, in this video, I'll be talking about DevOps, as I said. So there's a very important reason behind choosing this topic to discuss with you guys, because I've been contacted by many of my juniors and many of my fellows that, they want to know more about DevOps, what actually it is, because sometimes you may get to read some of the articles or may see some of the videos which actually are very informative, but they are kind of too technical, and that becomes kind of difficult for them, for the juniors to understand what actually DevOps is, so that they know what actually it is and if there's a possibility of them to explore their career in that DevOps field, right? So let's start. So instead of directly jumping to the definition of DevOps, let's start by building a storyline and see that how actually DevOps comes into the picture, and then we'll understand that why is it actually needed and how is it important, right? So let's say that, and imagine that I am to start a startup and I have an idea in my mind. So just for now, I want a website to be created, and let's say I am a developer and I also have some 3 to 4 developers who are also an equal partners in the startup idea, right? So we code a website and then we simply deploy it, right? So it's like our website is ready to be shown to the clients. So till now, the case was that we just had an idea in our mind. So it's just a small level in which our business stands right now, right? So maybe we are actually not getting that much audience because we are not yet popular. But just imagine that our website was very successful and our marketing showed a really good positive results, and we gained a lot of audience and a lot of customers. So we need to scale our business, right? So we need to scale our website, we need to scale our mobile apps, or whatever the like things that are actually important for a business to scale up, we need to handle them accordingly, right? So in that case, we'll see how DevOps comes into picture. So in that case, for actually increasing the number of features on your website, for handling the increasing load on your website, for handling the deployments, for actually coding a lot of more features, you'll be needing a big team because your audience has increased and their demands have also increased. So you need to tackle them accordingly, right? So suppose say that you created a big team also, and now because your business is comparatively on a bigger scale, so you may create 2 separate teams. So let's say that you have a development team and then you have an operations team. So in the development team, there will be coders who will be coding your website, suppose say. See, so they're coding your website, and they're coding the backend, they're coding the front end, and they created a database and all that stuff, right? So they did their part. So they created the different functionalities and different modules that are important to the client, right? But this is just the coding part. So then comes the operation teams. The operation teams is actually going to take that code that they have written and they're going to deploy them to in an appropriate scalable way, so that it is able to actually handle a lot of traffic during the particular day or the particular amount of hours. So they have to handle the traffic, plus they have to also take care of some of the security measures, plus they have to do the testing part also. Like in some cases, the operation teams is consist of the testers also. So they need to also see that the website is in a consistent state and it is available highly to all of the users, right? So they actually need to make sure of all those things. So let's say, suppose your business is increasing day by day, and there are a lot of people, there are a lot of customers, and you also have a lot of competition in market. So there are also similar companies offering the same amount of business and same amount of features that you have. So to stand out of all of your competitors, you need to actually improve the way and the speed of how you present your new features to the customers, right? So you need to add some more features more quickly, and you need to have a good presentation, and you need your updates to be brought in a very quicker manner so that they reach the audience faster than any other competitor, right? So in that case, the developer team is going to code their coding part. They're going to add new features, and they'll quickly do that part, and then they'll give it to the operations team and say, hey, we just completed development work, so you just deploy it. But that part is actually not that easy, because most of the cases in such teams, some software development lifecycle is being followed. So they can be any method that they are following, right? So maybe they have a pattern of just adding to the deployments, maybe just 2 times in a month, or maybe 1 time in a month, right? So in that case, they just can't start the deployment all over again whenever the new code is being coded by the developers. So in that case, they need to take care, the operation teams need to take care of the consistency part of that it is not left in an inconsistent state, right? So they just can't do such quick updates if they don't have DevOps, right? So it's like that you are lagging behind. The teams are actually creating a gap between them, because one team is doing their part very quickly and they're saying that we have created the features, but in the operations part, you need time actually to do all that stuff, because it just can't be done quickly, because we need to ensure the stability of our system also, right? So in such cases, you can actually lag behind by your competitors, because your new features and new updates will be given to your customers at a later time. So your competitor can come and do it very early. So here is what DevOps comes into picture. So what DevOps is basically, if you kind of separate dev and ops, then dev comes from the development and ops comes from the operations. So you must have understood that you have integrated both of the names together to make it DevOps, right? So that's actually what is happening if we talk about DevOps. You are integrating both of the development and operations team together, so that they actually work together with collaboration, and they work together more effectively in a continuous learning way, so that they know about each other's work very well, so that they can plan accordingly, that in the case where we need to roll out some of the updates very quickly, we need to do the deployments very quickly. So how are we going to do this? So they work together instead of working as 2 different departments. So they work together and they know each other's work. So this software development lifecycle is not just to the coding part, it's being extended to the timeline in which it is deployed and it is brought to the customer. So it's like you're doing all of the stuff together in one team, where all of them are aware of each other's work, and maybe they're just not responsible only for deployment, and the coders is not only responsible for only coding part. They need to know about each other's work, so that any activity done by them does not actually affect the team's performance, right? So this is what DevOps actually is. So if we talk about the advantages of DevOps, then I would say that the speed. Firstly, we can talk about the speed. The speed of overall functioning of the team has increased because you are going to make the updates faster and bring the solutions to the customers. You'll be able to reach your customers at a faster rate, and you can adapt to the changes in a very high speed. So that makes you kind of at a good advantage here, right? So the second advantage will be rapid delivery. So if you're increasing the frequency of releases of your different versions of an application, right? So by changing the appropriate amount of needs according to what your customer requires. So rapid delivery can actually helps you like, it's like the faster you respond to your customers' needs, so they'll choose you more and more, right? So this is going to be helpful. And also reliability. So it's like when you work together, you know about each other's work. So you work together throughout the software development life cycle. It's not just that this is just my part and this is just the other team's part. So you don't care about each other. You have to care about each other if you need your system to be reliable, scalable, and available enough so that it actually is able to like deliver more at a more rapid pace while maintaining a positive experience for the end users and customers, right? So there are many practices. As I said, you need to have a good collaboration, right? So DevOps involves, this was just a kind of an explanation where I told you about how two different teams come together and how they work. So it's not just as theoretical as it looks, but there are some kind of practices, some best practices that the guys have, which they follow. So if I have to name some practices, they are like continuous integration, continuous delivery, automation, and then communication, collaboration, microservices. So these are some of the practices that the DevOps team follows to ensure that they are kind of giving a good product to their customers, and that add to a good pace of updations and new features, right? So we can talk about these more practices and the DevOps architecture later, because that will be something kind of too technical. So maybe in a different video we can deal with it. But this is just about a brief introduction of what actually a DevOps team is and how is it formed and why do we actually need it, right? So I hope that it was clear that why do we need DevOps and how it came into picture as we grow our business on a larger scale. So like in the end of the video, I would also like to talk about the role of a DevOps engineer. So there are people who are like interested to know that what a DevOps engineer does. So just to point out that a DevOps engineer is kind of responsible for all the aspects of software development lifecycle. As I said, you work together as a team throughout the software development lifecycle. So it includes communicating critical information to the business and customers, and adhering to the DevOps methodologies and principles, and they like efficiently integrating the development process into workflows, and using automation to to make the process easier. If you have automation, then the whole process becomes easier because you just can't do everything manually. It is going to be a lot of time consuming. So you can use automations. They test and analyze codes wherever it is required, and they are going to build, evaluate, deploy, and use some of the tools like the DevOps tools there to do the work. And they work on different platforms, the IT infrastructures and all. Then DevOps engineers are also responsible for managing the releases of your application or software, and as well as they identify also help to identify any technical issues the users face. So it's like you are a part of the whole process. There are no separate teams over here that are gonna do the blame game if any problem comes in. So you work together as a team. If you are into DevOps, then a DevOps engineer also require a range of certain programming languages and a strong set of communication skills, because you need to collaborate among engineering and business groups, right? So this was about the DevOps engineer. And as I talked about some of the tools also of DevOps, so there are a lot of tools if you guys want to read about, like you have Jenkins, you have Ansible, you have Git, Bitbucket, and all this stuff. So you can go, and there are more tools. So there are different categories of tools actually. So you can go and read about it. So I think that this was kind of a good, simple introduction, which was hopefully not too technical for you to understand. So with this, we come to the end of the video. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, then please subscribe, like, and share. Thanks for watching the video.